What's the stupidest thing you've been punished for at school? Filling in a worry sheet about a girl who had been bullying me in year 7 because she denied she did it and according to the teacher was such a lovely girl. I hated my time at that school so much. Around 5th grade I was shoved through a window by a playground bully. The school made me well. My parents pay for the window. Eater. I was very lucky and only went part way through before I recovered my balance. The shoulder and arm of my shirt were shredded. The t-shirt underneath was sliced up. I was unharmed. Broken glass is scary sharp. The amount of money was small. I believe they demanded payment from the kid who shoved me as well. No idea on the percentages. The principal's theory was you shouldn't have been roughhousing near the building. My dumbfounded response, that I wasn't roughhousing. I was walking back from lunch when I was shoved through a window did not impress him. Did my parents actually pay? No clue. I was a kid. When I told my parents what had happened they told me not to worry about it, that they'd take care of things. Equal odds that my dad paid the bill, or that my mom tore the principal's head off. Falsely accused of stealing a ball at recess. Also, told I wasn't allowed to play solitaire with physical cards during lunch because playing cards equals gambling.
N.
I posted about this before as a long story, so I will make it short here. In 5th grade a group of friends and I basically went into the boys' room to piss before going back to class. On the way in some kids were exiting. Inside we found a stink bomb. We went outside to tell an adult what we found. She took us to the principal's office. The principal interrogated each of us individually. Apparently someone needed to be punished for the stink bomb. It made no sense, since we only found it. We didn't deploy it. Most of us, or at least I thought the kids leaving the bathroom before we went in likely did it. But that didn't seem to matter. We didn't know their names or anything either. So the principal gave us an ultimatum. Either one of us would be punished or all of us would. We decided to go out together. I still remember this fairly well, because it was such a stupid and dumb example of injustice. We were trying to do the right thing, but got punished, as if we were the culprit. Not exactly a punishment, but in 2nd grade my teacher marked my spelling of the word I wrong on a test, because the bottom and top lines for the letter were right on the lines of the paper. Until that point I had never gotten a single mark off of a spelling test. Listen, I work in a school, and I need all you young people to know this. If an adult seriously fricks you over at school, tell another adult, and repeat that process until someone cares. I have beached out co-workers for micromanaging kids, have revoked unfair punishments, etc. Get someone to care. Whistling in the bathroom in 1st grade. I've waited all my life for this moment. I was in 4th grade and there was a new kid who had just moved here from Europe. I decided to be nice to the kid and asked him what his name was. He told me back quote latest, so me being American in America just assumes his name is Lettuce. So me and Lettuce spend the whole day playing together and I show him around. Fast forward to the end of the week, I get called down to the principal's office for bullying some kid. Guess who I see there? Goddamn Lettuce. Apparently he thought I was name calling and reported me to the teacher, which almost got me suspended. FCKU Lettuce. 2nd grade I won a mini fold up calendar for something. I was so proud of myself for winning something for once. But when I wouldn't stop fiddling with it in class, the teacher took it back and ripped it up in front of me. To that 2nd grade teacher who made me cry so hard that I was sent out of the room. Go frick yourself. Not me, but a friend got punished because his 6 Sparks Live username was something like Long Donkey back in the day when we were in middle school. Apparently someone else's mother reported it. It was a private Christian school, which explains it, but still. Mike, if you're reading this, never forget. When I was 12, a girl at my table told a joke and I laughed. I got detention, she didn't. I wrote everyone a Christmas card in my class. When I was like 5 it took me ages. I spelled one kid's name wrong, and he cried, and I was the baddie. FCKU Lime. My high school had a massive problem with people being late to class and decided that after 3 years of doing nothing, they needed to get off their asses and do something about it. I was always notorious for walking in about 5 seconds before the last bell, had it down to a goddamn science. However, no teachers ever really cared. I would always be in my seat before the bell and never disrupted anything. One day all of our teachers were instructed by the principal to close and lock their doors 1 minute before the bell and send anyone who came after that to the main hall to register for detention. A little over 100 students were punished as a result of this, many of which had their lockers in a separate building because the main building didn't have enough and needed to grab supplies for their next class. TLDR, roughly 100 of my classmates and myself were punished for being on time to class. I was taking a test in a class taught by a teacher who was very paranoid about cheating. She would patrol the aisles between desks and angrily whisper at people if they looked anywhere besides their own paper. I was sitting by the window when something caught my eye outside. I couldn't help but stare for a few seconds. The teacher pulled me into the hallway and berated me without even giving me a chance to explain that I had seen a homeless person stroking his shaft in broad daylight. One time in class I got detention for I swear to God looking at the teacher. I had never had a detention before, so my best friend tried to get one with me because I was losing my mind over it. She threw papers, she yelled at inappropriate times, she went to the bathroom without asking. Nothing. Edit. I didn't expect this to blow up. I'll relay all of the kind comments to my friend. Also grammar. I've been punished for getting beaten up. I didn't try to defend myself in the least, and I got in just as much trouble as the kid that beat me up. I got pulled into the principal's office in high school because a bus driver believed that I had passed it while it had its stoplights out. The reason they thought this wasn't due to my plate or anything, it was just due to my car type, which was a white pickup in Texas. Half the freaking parking lot could match that description. My senior year of high school, I only had half days for the last 2 weeks of class due to my schedule, so I would come in when lunch was over. I was driving to school, and I was stuck behind a car going 40 in a 55. At one point this car put on its right blinker and started to get off to the side, so I assumed they were turning and passed them legally. I then noticed, far ahead, there was an ambulance coming my way. I still had plenty of time and got over and realized the car behind me was doing that as well. Oops, but not a big deal because I still had plenty of time and I thought they were turning. I pulled into the school and so did the other car. Well shoot, must be another student. After a few minutes sitting in my car, I walk into the building to be immediately interrogated by one of the office ladies, asking who drove a black Aztec. Can you guess who was in the other car yet? Before I can even lie, she sees the look of oh shoot on my face and starts berating me in front of a bunch of staff and students. Again, this was my last 2 weeks. The incident was not on school grounds, so I simply walked out and went to class. Nothing came of it. My English teacher was giving out handouts. I was the last one in my row and let her know she missed me. She then sent me to the dean who didn't believe me when I told him why I was sent there. After he called her to confirm, he just told me to sit tight for a few minutes then go back to class. I was later told by friends that when he called her, her response was well he was so annoying. She also once sent a classmate to the dean for blowing his nose. One time in elementary school, I got in trouble because a friend stole my homework paper and copied it without my knowledge or permission. In a geography test, saying that Greenland is the world's biggest island because Australia is so much bigger. In a later test, from the same teacher, saying that Australia is the world's biggest island because it's a continent and thus doesn't count. The correct answer is Greenland. When I was 11 years old, me and another kid fell out on a Friday at school. Nothing serious, just kid stuff. On the following Tuesday we were both playing for the school football team and we were still not getting on / talking. Whilst practicing on the side of the pitch mid-game, we both went to intercept a pass, along with another kid, and neither of us won the ball, but nothing really happened there. As I moved away he follows me, and punches me square in the face. I go down like a sack of potatoes. I'd never been punched before, and goddamn it hurt. When I get up, I tell my dad. He confronts this kid's parents, shouting ensues etc. The next thing I know is in school we are both being pulled out of class as I'm being accused of kicking him in the leg. When we and another kid went for the ball and nothing happened, I did not kick him. The teachers wanted to get to the bottom of the story, as our teacher was best friends with this kid's dad. They believed him. In the end, I got punished behavior report card. Detention school even tried to make me take anger management classes like frick I was going to go to that. The other kid, nothing. He punched me in the face and got no punishment. What a load of bullshit that still grinds on me to this day. TL. Doctor, kid punched me in the face. I got punished. I have a PD auditory processing disorder. Think dyslexia but with words. Except it only happens occasionally. And I didn't understand what the teacher was ordering. So I asked him to repeat it to me. And he pulled the line of did I stutter? So I simply told him I wouldn't know. Because I didn't hear you in the first place. I was immediately sent to the principal's office and given 3 days in school suspension. It was business class in middle school. Wasn't business, it was just a basic computer and typing course. I typed 120 at the time, and the teacher typed around 70. I remember one time I finished the whole week's assignment in one day and asked her if I could do anything else. I don't type with correct form. So she forced me to type like that, and I typed around 40 WPM. She hated me. Anyways, one class I had finished all my work 30 minutes early, and I was drawing. I put it away as she was walking by, because I was satisfied, and she made me take it out. She said that's not the drawing, and looked through my entire bag. She took out a drawing of a sword, and gave me a referral. It wasn't allowed, because it was a weapon. TL. Doctor, teacher looked through my bag, found a drawing of a sword, gave me a referral, because it was a weapon. In middle school, a substitute teacher for computer class confiscated my $30 headphones. It was a gift from my parents over the fact that she believed I was listening to inappropriate music. We were allowed to play music videos from Yahoo in the background as we worked. I was listening to the newest music as was everyone else in class. She pulled me up in front of everyone and said the music videos I was playing had sexual content and that she understood I was just going through a hormonal bloom. WTF. But it's still inappropriate for the learning environment. My face turned beet red and I just sat down in embarrassment. I still have no idea what was so inappropriate, especially since I wasn't even watching them. The worst part is that I asked my regular teacher the next day for my headphones, and apparently she either took them or threw them away. I'm still mad and confused AF about this lol. I attended a Catholic high school. Dress code no sneakers. Had cut on my foot and had to wear sneakers. Mom wrote a note and I showed it to my homeroom teacher. She sent me to the office to get it signed. Office secretary was confused and wrote me a demerit. My one and only. I accepted it with honor. 4th grade, we had a fire alarm go off during some considerable rain. In our line, after everyone got checked on attendance, I went on my knees, threw my hands in the air and yelled, "Why? Smokey, why?" I was trying to be funny, but the teacher didn't like it and called my parents and made me sit in during recess the following day. In 8th grade, I said in a moderately loud voice, "This school has Dollar Tree internet," and never said another word that class. Later I get called to the office, and it turned out I got written up for that. 30-minute detention. In kindergarten, my teacher was handing out these worksheets with shapes and I already knew how to do it. Since I sat near the teacher, I got my paper first and decided to finish it as soon as possible. I circled the correct matching shapes and sat calmly at my table. When the teacher came back around the classroom and saw that I had completed my sheet, yelled at me, took it away, and forced me to put my head down. Later, when the kids went out for recess, I was told to stay in my desk. I never understood what I did wrong to deserve such a cruel punishment for a 5 to 6 year old. Edited, Grammar.